So in this video, I'm going to talk about something that everybody should be doing to be aware of what they're getting in their food. And I'm going to use cereal as an example. So you should always check the box of your cereal to see what's in it. Like I have some generic Frosted Flakes for my roommate. I told him to get regular, not Frosted Flakes, because he's diabetic, but he gets whatever, and I told him I'd buy him the generic. So I did. And I said, do you know what's in those? He goes, no, they're just sweet. I go, okay. Sugar obviously is the sweet. Corn syrup, sugar, all that stuff. But you got malted barley and you have corn. That's what's in there. You got a corn, you got malted barley. I go, if you read the back, you can see what's in it for the main grains. I said, and see my Cheerios, oats, and wheat. And you see this one's rice. And you see, and I just show him all the different ones. But this is why you got to do that and read the back of your boxes. I read everything. Any single product I put in my body. I don't care if it's a vitamin. I don't care if it's your breakfast cereal. It could be even the drink, the water you pick off the store. I want to know exactly what's different about that water than other waters. Read anything you're putting into your body. Read as much as you can until you have a full picture of what you're putting into your body. And a lot of people just grab Doritos and they don't realize there's over 100 things in that Dorito bag. And most of them sound like chemicals or compounds or preservatives. I mean, they're not good. Some of them are meant to make you addicted. They're meant to make you eat more. I mean, that can't be good for you. When you read on the topic, when you go through each ingredient one by one, you get a better idea of what you're ingesting. And I'll give you the example of breakfast cereals. I found one generic breakfast cereal. I ended up getting it, I think it was from a food pantry, or maybe it was from one of these little discount stores that like BJ's and stores like that. You know, you go in, you get a discount. And I got either Cheerios or shredded wheat. I can't remember if it was Cheerios or shredded wheat, but what I do remember is checking the back of the box. Now, most cereals have whey. That's WHEY. That comes from milk. That's a protein. You don't got to worry about whey. That's just a milk protein that they add to a lot of stuff. Not the best for you, but not the worst for you either. It has some nutrition like protein. But that's not what I'm talking about here. They had hay with just a H in the beginning. Hay. Literally, when I typed it in on the phone, it was hay for horses. It was hay. Luckily, I have not found a cereal since that had hay as an ingredient. But you need to read the back of the box because I would have had no idea that shredded wheat or Cheerios had a little bit of hay in it. It was further, it was like in the middle of the list too. It was really far down. And so not much in there. So you wouldn't even notice you're eating hay. Hay is not something that I really want to ingest. That's more of a filler. It has little nutritional balance to my breakfast. I don't want to be eating hay. Luckily, like I said, I've checked every box since, and I don't see hay in it. I see whey, that's WHEY, but I don't see any more hay. That only was one box of cereal. It was a generic brand. But you need to be checking whatever you're putting in your body. Always. I highly suggest it. And don't think that your doctor knows anything. You should consult a doctor right away. You should be consulting doctors. But also keep in mind that doctors are some of the biggest bullshitters in the world. They don't always have an idea of what you are or who you are or what you're feeling. So you're your best doctor. What you can tell your doctor what best is for you and then have him work with you to understand what's going on is your best bet. But doctors make mistakes too. Trust me, I've had plenty of doctors make plenty of mistakes with my body. Mostly because my mother, but we're not going to go into that in this video. But a lot of it also had to do with me and my addiction. That interfered with some of the doctor's abilities to diagnose or treat me. Keep that in mind too. If you're an addict, doctors have a lot of trouble diagnosing you because drugs have effects on your body because you're ingesting a substance. Your diet has a lot to do. If your doctor doesn't know what you're eating, like for instance, let's just say you drink a gallon of milk every day and you eat a bowl of beans for breakfast, but you don't tell your doctor that and you say, oh, I have this gas pain every day. I've had it for months. Maybe they think it's a serious GI issue because it's been going on for over a year and they start investigating. Meanwhile, all you really have to do is see a nutritionist and stop drinking a gallon of milk and stop eating beans for breakfast every morning. But if you don't tell your doctor, hey, I'm eating a bowl of beans for breakfast and I drink a gallon of milk a day, if you don't tell your doctor that, then you obviously aren't going to get proper medical care. So keep in mind, you're your best doctor. You need to take your information that you have and give it to your doctor so he can help you with the diagnosis and figure out what's wrong with you. But your doctor cannot read your mind. And if he doesn't have all the facts, then he can't do any proper treatments. And always know what you're ingesting. That's the main part of this video, is to make sure you're reading every single product that you put into your body. Everything. Even if it's a plant outside. If you're going to eat a blueberry, know what's in that blueberry. If you're going to make dandelion tea, know what that's going to do. It's a laxative. It's going to make you shit. You got to know these things before you take it and ingest it into your body. And you also need to talk to a doctor and have him work with you on what's going on. But some doctors don't want to listen to the patients either. You got to keep that in mind. Doctors do this for a living. They're getting paid for it. If you're too difficult, if you're too hard, then they'll just try to get rid of you and get another patient, or they just won't even look into it. They won't even pay any attention to you. You're just a paycheck to them in a lot of cases. That's why there's good doctors, there's bad doctors, and there's patients who just don't want to tell the doctor what's going on with them, and that's a problem. If you're not telling the doctor the truth, if you're not giving valid information to the doctor, then he can't do shit to help you. That was part of my problem. About 10 years ago, I was all confused due to my mother's fantasies and all these meds and all these drugs going into my body. So the doctor and me, we weren't on the same page at any time. Plus, I had a new doctor every year or two. I kept on getting new doctor after new doctor after new doctor, as well as I wasn't aware of what was going on with me. I was just repeating what people were telling me, and that's a problem, because other people don't know your body. You know, they somewhat do. But if they have an agenda to push, if they have their own ideas, if they have a problem of their own, that can cause problems. So you gotta know your own body. You need to. And you need to know what you're putting into your body. That's also important. So read your packaging. I've seen hundreds of people that don't read their packaging. I've seen people who smoke this crazy ass meth. That is the ugliest drug. That and this crocodile stuff I read about are some of the most ugly drugs I've ever seen. I mean, it's made out of all these crazy chemicals. And these people are putting poison into their body, just like alcohol. I'm not sure if many people realize this, but if you drink every day, you're ritualistically poisoning yourself on a daily basis. That's what you're doing. If you're drinking alcohol every day, you are ritualistically poisoning yourself, and that's all. Alcohol is a poison. It's underclass of poison. I'm not sure if many people realize that, but alcohol is considered a poison. Anyways, and there's a difference in poison and venom. Keep that in mind. Poison has to be ingested, while venom has to be injected. In case anybody wasn't aware. But know what you're putting into your body. If you're putting poison into your body, stop. Try to find help. I know I did. I was taking poison, what is alcohol, to treat my neurological disorder, and all it did was kick it to the next day. There are many poisons used as medicine too in a proper manner. Botox, no need for Botox, but there are some rare cases where people really need Botox for life-saving reasons. That's 1 in a million though. But Botox is another poison that's been turned into a medicine. Actually, there's a couple poisons and venoms that have been now turned into treatments. Like, a lot of people don't realize this, but the mold that penicillin comes from, if you ingest it in its mold form, is poisonous. There's other compounds in it. They have to extract and put it through a process to make penicillin. So there's many poisonous things out there, but you need to understand what circumstances are the last circumstance that you use them in. And alcohol should not be an everyday thing. And honestly, there are millions of people that don't need it. You don't. It's very 1 in a million that people actually need alcohol. There are plenty of heart medications to thin your blood that are much safer than alcohol, that have way less risk of an addiction. But I thought that you might learn a little bit about me and what might to do. Like when you're eating a breakfast cereal or you're shopping, when you get home, check if there's hay in your cereal. Check if there's addictive chemicals in your Doritos. Check if the drink you're drinking has poison in it and what you're doing to yourself.